Hi everyone, thank you for joining us for this Facebook Live. Lisa and Dillon here. I want to remind you, of course, we're live on Facebook every weekday morning. It stays on your Facebook feed throughout the day, so whatever time works for you, that's why we do this. We make it into a podcast. You can find it at inform.com/podcast. Look for the Inform Minute, but of course we're on all of the social media platforms. Check out our Inform YouTube channel, and live on air is really usually the easiest way. 5 to 7 every weekday morning. For First News. Okay, today, we teased this yesterday on our Facebook Live. It's Dillon's favorite day of the year.
One of my favorites.
I know, it probably doesn't compete really with Christmas and stuff, but it's one of his favorite weather days of the year, we could say that. Today is the longest night of the year. It's winter solstice. Dillon's going to talk a little bit more about what that means, how it really, plays into our life when we're talking about daylight and summer coming eventually. But I want to tell you, talking about the winter solstice, Moorhead is celebrating today as well, so they must feel like you do as well. We're going to be lighting a trail with tea lights at MB Johnson Park. I was talking to Lydia, I think last year it might have even been canceled because it was so cold, but tonight's going to be beautiful, beautiful. 5:30 to 8, you can head over to MB Johnson Park. Free, open to the public. If you go, you're encouraged to wear, light up hat or necklaces. This morning you were talking about the winter solstice, and you were in the most lit up, beautiful area of downtown Fargo.
Yeah, the downtown Fargo is really pretty. One of the spots looks like Christmas with our lack of snow here in town. But yeah, I like winter solstice today. I don't like it because it's the shortest day length of the year, daylight day of the year. I like it because starting tomorrow we gain daylight, and that's the best. It's all about optimism. Starting tomorrow, we're on the path to summer. At the end of this path, eventually we'll start losing daylight, but that's not until June. So, shortest day of the year, 8 hours, 31 minutes of daylight in Fargo, a little bit less in Grand Forks, and the farther north you go. But starting tomorrow, we gain less than a second of daylight, and then we gain like 3 or 4 seconds on the 23rd. And then Christmas Eve, we gain about 5 seconds, and then on Christmas Day, we gain about 6 seconds.
I like it. So we're starting to head into the right direction, which makes sense. I was kind of curious as to why today was your favorite day.
Yeah, that's right.
One of your favorite days.
It's just like, oh yes, we're finally done losing daylight, and now we're starting to gain it again, and I just love that. That's the highlight.
Because we're in the heart of those really long, dark days.
Yes.
And
We are, and today is the darkest day of the year with the most night, and our sunsets are going to start getting later before our sunrises get earlier. I just wrote a weather talk about this. Our latest sunrise isn't until the end of the month, but our earliest sunset, get that right, our earliest sunset already happened. That happened on December 15th. So our earliest sunset was at 4:38. Now our sunset's about 4:41. At the end of the month, we'll have sunsets at about 4:46-ish, give or take a minute. So we're still losing daylight today, but our sunsets, you probably noticed, a couple minutes later. And in about 2 months, we'll have sunsets at 6 o'clock.
All right. I like it. I like that we're going in the right direction, for sure. Okay, so I just complained about long, dark days, but really the forecast, like this morning during First News, it was 35 degrees. That's
I
weird.
did a bad mistake. I said I was cold this morning. I was sitting on a cold rock on that last hit. The rock was freezing cold. My legs, I couldn't feel them. And there was a wind swirling in downtown. So I was pretty chilly. As soon as I said it, I was like, this is not cold. We need to toughen up.
You got mad at yourself?
I did. I was actually mad at myself. You heard that. I was like, it is not cold at all. But it is another nice day. Yes, temperature's warming up to near 40 degrees. A little bit of a breeze. That breeze will continue. Southeast about 10 to 20. And then tomorrow, looking like fog before, with the light winds calming overnight tonight. So we'll have to watch for that. See how long it'll stick around, too. It could stick around a little bit later than the morning. And then over the weekend, Saturday looks really nice. Watching that chance of rain, snow on Sunday, which most of it looks to be rain for us. Before maybe a flurry or two on Christmas Day itself, but I think the majority of it will be done by the time we get to Christmas on Monday. So,
okay. So still watching it closely.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like a lot of snow. If anything, we'll have to watch for rain. Maybe a mix. It's too early to know exact types, but the general trend of the system has been moving a little bit farther to the south and east, which means less impacts for us, which is good.
And just make sure you have that WDAY Storm Tracker weather app. It follows you, so if you're driving, flying, you can get the very latest forecast. And of course, we just want to kind of track where the temperatures are on Christmas Eve, rain, snow, mix. Of course, on air, the best too, but that Storm Tracker weather app. Make sure you put it on that brand new iPhone that you're getting for Christmas.
Yep.
And transfer over all of your apps. So
maybe
that
it's
you're
on the
good to
cars
go.
now too. Some cars have apps. I don't think we are. Maybe not. But you can get Apple CarPlay. That's good.
Is that on your wish list?
Apple CarPlay? No, I don't know. My car isn't fancy enough for that.
Okay.
Do you have Apple CarPlay?
No, I do not.
You know what Apple CarPlay is?
No.
It's cool.
I'm an Android phone person. So
Oh.
I was just doing that pitch for you. So, all right, good stuff. Thank you, Dillon. All right. Well, talking about Dillon's forecast there, regardless of the lack of snow, did you hear about this? This year's names for the North Dakota Name-A-Plow contest are out. One for each of the 8 districts in North Dakota. It's always fun. 1,100 people submitted names, but here are some of the ones that stood out and won and named snowplows. Snow Problem for the Fargo district. Blizzard of Oz for Grand Forks. Valley City has Drift Busters. There's also a Buzz Ice Clear, Alice Scooper, Polar Patroller, which Lydia said was one of her favorites this year, and Bernie and Cousin Eddie. So fun stuff, even though we don't have snow. She promises the snowplows will get to work some point in this winter. Bell ringers found an amazing surprise in a Salvation Army red kettle in Grand Forks. I don't know if you heard about this. It was actually a 1978 South African Krugerrand gold coin. It was dropped in a kettle at the Shields in Grand Forks. The value, $2,000. That was a nice donation for sure. Okay, we're coming into the end of the campaign season for the Salvation Army, and it's a really great time right now to help out. In Grand Forks, they're still short, about 3/4 of the way to their $100,000 goal. Red kettle donations tomorrow and Saturday will be matched by up to $25,000 by an anonymous donor. So if you haven't given, even if you have, and you want to give more, now is a great time. Also, whether it's Grand Forks, across the region, they're still looking for bell ringers. We're hearing that from the Salvation Army. You can sign up at registertoring.com. Today, big travel day, really kicking things off. Today is expected to be one of the busiest travel days of the holiday season. More than 115 million Americans are expected to travel this Christmas. That's according to AAA. That's a 2% increase from last year, but the second highest travel forecast since 2000. More than 7 million people are expected to fly as well. So today a busy day, but we've been reporting this on First News. The next 12 days, this whole week and a half period is going to be very busy at airports. Good news is if you're driving, gas prices are down right now. The national average, $3.09 a gallon. Minnesota and North Dakota, well below that. Minnesota's average, $2.90. North Dakota even lower at $2.89. If you are planning to drive, I know a lot of people are leaving today. That's why it's the busiest day. Driving, the busiest day is supposed to be Saturday, starting about 11 in the morning, so 11 to 7 on Saturday. So pack your patience. This is a big story today. 6 Americans who were wrongfully detained in Venezuela are back on U.S. soil today, just in time for the holiday season. We've also learned that Venezuela is expected to release 4 more Americans. Part of this exchange, President Joe Biden granted clemency to an alleged investor for the Venezuelan president. The White House says it's hoping this move will lead to a more democratic Venezuela. Forbes has included Barbie in this year's list of the world's most powerful women. She's actually the first fictional character to ever be chosen for the list. Forbes pointed to her 2023 movie, saying that she has emerged as a symbol of female empowerment, especially when the government has rolled back some of women's rights right now. According to Forbes, Barbie has worked 250 different jobs. Some of the other powerful women on the list: Kamala Harris, Taylor Swift, Oprah, and Beyonce. All right, coming up this morning on Hot Mic with Dom Izzo, 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra. The state's top football player is headed to Minnesota. Riley Sunram is going to join the show to discuss making it official with the Gophers. Plus, Mayville State's women's basketball team made history last week when they beat UND. The Comets head coach, Dennis Hutter, will chat about the school's first D1 win. So lots going on Hot Mic, 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and Inform.com. And remember right now, the best gift is an Inform.com subscription, and it's half off right now. A great holiday deal. Your annual subscription, half off, going on right now. You can find that deal at Inform.com/subscribe. Our next newscast coming up here at 11 o'clock this morning, and of course we have you covered every afternoon starting at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. Have a great day, everyone.